Now we're talking about festival season and we're talking about slowdown in HFCs. But what is happening to the home improvement stroke home ancillary market? Let's connect with Keshav Bajranka, Executive Director with Century Plywood, and giving him company. We've got a presentation coming from Godrej Furniture. The gentleman would just be joining us. But Keshav, first I'm going to start with you. What has been your sense that is the contraction in HFC behind us, and if that is true, then what is happening to your demand?
I think that, hi, good morning. I think that there is definitely still a slowdown in the market. In the last quarter, demand was quite muted. And as of now, we are not seeing any signs that this will drastically change going ahead also.
Let's go across to Anil Mathur as well. We'll get Keshav back on the line. But let's just start off and talk to Anil as well about the current slowdown in HSVs and really, how that's playing out from the real estate sector, how that scenario is then affecting the home retail segment. Anil, is it as bad as it is for some of the other sectors? What's the kind of impact that you're seeing?
Well, I think normally in the home sector, during the festivals, we see people doing up their homes. And with the recent trends that we are seeing in the e-commerce sales that have occurred, it looks like there should be a positivity in the business coming through in the coming few months, especially during the Dussehra and the Diwali season that is happening. I think we should be able to get some benefit out of that.
So, we're just kicking off the festive season now. It's a little early and condensed this year. But how has the slowdown in housing finance dampened the festive season? What's your outlook? What percentage of revenue do you feel? What is the percentage that you normally earn during this time, and what do you think is reasonable to expect this time around?
There has been a slowdown, but we have observed that the buyers have been buying properties from the real estate builders where affordable housing has been possible, and also where they are sure about the property being delivered to them on time. And with the good real estate developers who are able to adhere to the RERA norms, it has been a not so bad issue for us in the coming months. I think in the past few months we've been looking at growing at 8 to 10%, but because of the also the heavy monsoons that hit Kerala and other parts of the country, the growths have come down to about 6 to 7%. But I foresee that in the season which is coming forward, we should be able to get a jump above 10 to 12% for the corresponding period of last year.
Keshav, we lost you when you were telling us how things have been different for you in the end of September and in the run-up to the festival season. Are you getting a sense that your dealers, they want to stock more?
No, we are not getting that sense as of now. We are seeing that there is still a liquidity crunch in the market. But having heard what the other gentleman just said, I believe that the highest end of our products, while there is a slowdown for the same, if you look at MDF or particle board, which is the lower end of the spectrum or the cheaper option available, the demand growth has been quite robust. So I believe that there is a changeover to a lower cost module. And as such, the products such as MDF and particle board are going to benefit.
Okay. Keshav, in terms of just the consumer sentiment, which segment do you feel will perhaps lead to revenue growth in Q2? Earlier we had the plywood segment contributing, but has the demand been sluggish there? What's your overall sense? When do you start to see a pickup, and how much is festive season going to contribute to that?
I think that plywood demand was muted for Q2, but Q3, we are hopeful that there is going to be a slight revival. I don't see a very drastic change around, but I think that in Q3, we will definitely see a better market for plywood, aided by the festive season. The other products such as MDF, particle board, and laminates, we have witnessed good growth in the same for the first 2 quarters, and I think that is likely to continue for the rest of the year as well.
Amit, could you be specific in terms of the furniture market? What is selling like normal? What is not selling like normal? When I say within categories, furniture is a vast category. We can start with wood to particle board. We can talk about steel furniture. We can talk about other specific categories of furniture. What has been your understanding?
You see, it's not about the material which is making a difference, but it is about the design and the functionality. See, people are today looking at how do they utilize their spaces effectively, and how does the furniture integrate with their lifestyles and their personality. The generation today is looking at a more customized furniture, but factory made. So the engineering wood becomes an important element, or the metal becomes an important element to be integrated in manufacturing of the products. So I think it's all about how you are able to create a design element. For example, we've come up with transpose, which is small affordable houses can convert a 1-bedroom apartment into a 2-bedroom apartment through that, or a modular Excel sofa. So these are elements which actually are what consumers are looking at to see that the utilization of their space becomes more important.
But tell me, what is it that you're doing to try and prop up consumer sentiment right now, Anil? I mean, are there any freebies, discounts? We were just chatting with a couple of auto experts, and they said that this is the right time to buy autos because you're never going to get these kind of lucrative discounts.
Yes. I think, today's consumer is prioritizing. He is definitely looking at, he's got a disposable income which he wants to use where he can get the best benefit. So there are schemes, discounts which are available in the marketplace today. We have also come out with schemes to consumers. Apart from that, the easy financing option that is being added to them with a bit of cashbacks, with banks also supporting the easy financing options. It's becoming making the life easier for consumer to make a decision. So it's a question of how one is able to lure the customer to get the value proposition out of your category rather than the pure product.
Okay, Keshav, in terms of, pricing strategy as well, any benefits to customers, any new strategies you're looking at to try and kind of boost demand going forward?
I think that across various product categories, the slowdown that we're seeing is a slowdown for the economy and the slowdown for the market in general. At this point in time, we don't believe that price cuts are really going to aid us in gaining additional volumes. So in terms of pricing, I think we are pretty much consistent with what we were doing earlier. Going forward, there is going to be a thrust on the lower end of products, so on the cheaper variants such as MDF, particle board, and scenic. But within these categories, I don't see any reduction in price. I think prices are going to be consistent, or they might actually be slightly higher going forward.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us and taking us to some of the trends you're observing.